Right in the middle of Turkey stands the ancient town of Gordion. Alexander came here to meet reinforcements from Greece, but he was also drawn by a strange legend. The Americans have been excavating here for nearly 50 years now, in the place forever associated with the tale of the Gordion knot. In the dig hut, we celebrated Alexander's birthday, the 20th of July. As guest of honor, I was awarded the Gordion hat, decorated with knot and sword. Now, the legend said there was an old cart in the temple here whose shaft was tied with a most intricate knot. Whoever undid it, so the story went, would become Lord of Asia.
You know, Arian says that when they got here, Alexander conceived of a pothos, you know, a kind of desire to go up to the Acropolis to see this extraordinary cart. And when he got up there, presumably he goes through the gates, and then there's a temple that the Greeks say was to Zeus. And that nearby this ancient cart had been preserved. Now, is there anything archaeologically that suggests that kind of...
Nothing like that. Oh, we get our
just
houses.
A little bit.
Nothing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We would like it. We look.
I suppose, you know, with hindsight, quite a significant moment in his career, wasn't it, coming here?
That's what's really interesting. I mean, the whole story that he came to this place, which was not such a big place anymore. It wasn't a capital anymore. But he still came here to make a symbolic gesture.
It was just a cheap farm cart, the Greeks said, like the ones you still see in Turkey today.
Alexander took a long, hard look at this impossible knot. But he couldn't, for the life of him, see how he could undo it. It was probably rather like the kind of knots we call Turk's heads knots, a big knot with all the ends tucked up inside so you just can't see where to begin. By now there was quite a crowd gathering. Local people from Gordion who were always interested to see someone make a fool of himself trying to solve the riddle, and the Macedonian officers who were worried now. They wished Alexander had not attempted this. What happens if he fails, they were thinking. This would be a really bad omen. What happened next, we don't know for sure. Some say that Alexander pulled out the pin that held the shaft and the yoke together, loosened the knot so he could pull the yoke out. According to others, though, Alexander pulled out his sword and said it doesn't matter how the knot is undone, and he slashed the knot open to reveal the hidden ends inside. A very Alexander way of doing things.
That night, thunder and lightning crashed over Gordion. The gods were with him. In that moment is the beginning of the myth of Alexander the Great. But for us, how to sort out fact from fiction? The problem grows more acute from this point in the story. Look at the two historians who are our main guides on this journey. The first I've already mentioned, Arian. He was a Greek. He wrote about 400 years after Alexander. He was a former military man, provincial governor, well-known author, a decent chap. You could imagine him being a special columnist for the Daily Telegraph or the Washington Post today. Basically, he thinks Alexander is a noble spirit and unsurpassed as a leader in human history. There's another tradition, though, and that is represented by Curtius. Curtius was a Roman. He wrote about 300 years after Alexander, and he had a great eye for a story. He was interested in the scandals, the murders, the war crimes, the purges and plots. Curtius knew that men are motivated by lust for power and sex. He knew that cruelty was inherent in human nature, and he also knew that power corrupts, and that absolute power
corrupts absolutely.
And there you have it. The sources disagree, and they give us two radically different Alexanders. Both, perhaps, could be true.
Şerefler bu dünya fanidir fani. Şöyle baksan senden önce gelenler hani.